Okay, good morning once again. You're on to the part 3 of this learning series on quadratic expressions for algebra grade 9. We've treated the intro, the direct product or multiplication method. We treated the no-show method. Now we're going to look at what is called coefficient of terms in a quadratic expression. To bring us better or clearer to the class, we'll take a case scenario. Let's assume I have two binomials, a plus 2 into a plus 3, and to multiply them. A quick recall of our Starboy no-show technique. I'm going to have a squared plus 6. See what I always do? I roll this line. My crossing, my Wakanda cross, 3a, 2a, and because they are both positives, I'm going to get 5a, so plus 5a. So a squared plus 5a plus 6 will give you the quadratic that will occur. Now take note that at your level, please let's listen, at your level, the coefficient of a squared is always 1. So I'll note that at your level, in grade 9, it is safe to assume a working environment where the coefficient of a squared is 1. So that's the assumption we need to take in handling this area. We assume a coefficient of a squared being 1. So, technically speaking, the coefficient of concern here will be the coefficient of a. Do you get it? Because we know that at your level, the coefficient of a squared will always be 1. But please note it, in an exam setup, an examiner may want to test to see whether you understand the concept very well. I could ask you, what's the coefficient of a squared? So what's the coefficient of a squared? It will be what? 1. But here we are concerned, this topic or this aspect of the course will focus on the coefficient of what? A. So that's my focal point. And in this setup, the coefficient of A is 5. So some of the questions we'll be handling, our focal point will be to look for the coefficient of the A or the letter that is just on its own. So that's what we're going to focus on right now. I think it's important at this point for you to remember that the general form of any quadratic expression is given as ax squared plus bx plus c, where a and b are coefficients of x squared and x respectively. I guess you're used to that. When we say respectively, it means that coefficient of x squared is a and coefficient of x is what? B. Where a and b are coefficients of x squared and x respectively, comma, and c is a constant, any number. So c is a constant, and technically in maths, when we talk about a constant essentially is a number. So I just want you to note this. It's more like an addition to the whole idea before we come in to take problems under exercise 9C of our new general mathematics, question number 2. Examples from exercise 9C question 2. And the first question we have there is x minus 5 into x plus 4. And we are told to look for the coefficient of x. So the coefficient of x is what we are told to look for. So we go with our star boy concept, and this will be x squared minus 20 minus x. How did I get that? 4x minus 5x will give me negative x. So with this one, coefficient of x is negative 1. Coefficient of x will be the number that multiplies the unknown. The coefficient of an unknown is that number that multiplies the unknown. So the answer becomes negative 1. So negative 1 will be the answer. Now if we do a mirror to our general quadratic equation form, you discover that A will be equal to 1, B will be equal to negative 1, and we said that C is a constant, and that will be what? Negative 20. So please take note of this, because in an exam setup you could be asked just any question. So this is equal to negative 20. But remember that our focus was to get this one, which is negative 1. Alright, so let's take some more examples. No-show method featuring Starboy and Wakanda. We're going to obtain this x squared minus 88 negative 11x 8x. I don't have, I have means I don't have, because I don't have is greater than what I have. So that will be what? Negative 3x. So that will be that, and the coefficient of x is negative 3. So this is a very straightforward thing. This is where the knowledge you have gathered all this while begins to make or becomes relevant to you. Okay, so with that said, we'll close out on this aspect of the video, because this is just what the coefficient concept is talking about. So this is the part 3 of this video. Up and right with that. We will now proceed to part 4 of this video, and in part 4 of this video, we started by trying to say A, B, C, D. Now we're not going to try to see how we go from D, C, B, A. Don't go away.